The royal family is one of the wealthiest families in the world.
Where the money comes from.
$28 billion.
My family has had plenty of reason.
For a common purpose.
But how do they earn a living? How much money do they make every year? To address these questions, we'll discuss 14 different sources of income for the royal family. The sovereign grant is the primary source of public funding for the monarchy. The sovereign grant funds the maintenance of the inhabited royal palaces and conducting the Queen's official duties. One of the projects that is currently covered by the sovereign grant is the renovation of Buckingham Palace, which is a 10-year project and includes the replacement of the palace's electrical wiring, piping, boilers and generators. According to the most current financial filings made public in London, spending by the royal family increased by 17% to £102.4 million in the fiscal year ending in April 2022. The cost of maintaining the royal residences of Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, Windsor Castle and others in 2016 was £69.3 million, up 29% from 2015. The sovereign grant in 2020 to 2021 will total £86.3 million, or £1.29 for each citizen of the United Kingdom. It's important to remember that security features are not included in that price. The continuing renovation of Buckingham Palace, which is expected to endure for 10 years, is the primary contributor to the 17% rise in monarchy spending, which now stands at £102.4 million. They bridged the gap by using new sovereign grant funds from previous years. The royal family uses it to pay for public duties, including attending events, hosting parties, and visiting schools. There were about 2,300 royal appearances and trips last year. After restrictions eased post-pandemic, travel costs increased by £1.3 million, bringing the total for the year to £4.5 million. Each of the 26 royal trips that were made costed more than £15,000. There was a cost of £31,796 associated with the Queen using the royal train to Cornwall for a reception held for G7 leaders. The royal family's most expensive trip was a Caribbean cruise taken by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge in March. It cost a stunning £226,383. However, most of the sovereign grant funds were spent on the maintenance of the royal palaces and the payment of the royal staff. In preparation for the Platinum Jubilee, the government spent £55 million on repairs at Buckingham Palace last year, cutting the time it takes by 41%. Money from the Crown Estate, which is run independently from the King, is used to pay the royalties. The Ascot Racecourse in Berkshire and London's Regent Street are two of its holdings. It does not belong to the Queen, but to the monarch for as long as they remain in power. This means the Queen cannot sell the Crown Estate and keep the money for herself. The Crown Estate typically generates 85% of government income, which is then kept by the government and distributed to the Queen. A compromise was reached and she would get 25% of the company's profits for the next 10 years, starting in 2017. As a result, the total price tag for the £369 million restoration of Buckingham Palace will increase. As I said before, the sovereign grant for 2021 to 2022 is £86.3 million, or £1.29 per person. As sovereign, the Queen was entitled to a personal income, which kept in the Privy purse. Currently, it serves as a means to fund government and commercial sector budgets. The Privy purse is supported by money collected by the Duchy of Lancaster. While the duchy is exempt from paying income tax, tax applies to this revenue. Approximately 18,500 acres in England and Wales make up the duchy, a landed estate in the sovereign's control since 1399. Although the sovereign has no claim on the duchy's capital, she had a right to its net earnings as the Duchess of Lancaster. Each year, the Duchy of Lancaster presents its financial report to Parliament. Her Majesty used part of her income from the Privy Purse to cover official costs, including those of other members of the royal family. Likewise, Balmoral, the Queen's Scottish estate, is maintained by the Privy Purse. The British monarch, in right of the crown, owns many royal houses outside the crown estate and a section of the royal collection, but gets no money from them. Buckingham Palace is a royal home. The royal family runs and finances it. Historic royal palaces administrates national sites like the Tower of London. The Royal Collection Trust reinvests all entry fees, product sales, and donations in the world's largest private art collection. Some items in the collection are held in right of the crown, while others were in Queen Elizabeth II's personal possession. The monarchy is not likely to sell any palaces or pieces of art, although the Queen had the legal authority to do so and keep the profits. King Charles, at 73, runs the second largest royal enterprise. The king's income when he was the Duke of Cornwall came from the Duchy of Cornwall and supplements the sovereign grant. To keep his eldest son engaged and wealthy while he waited to become king, King Edward III established the duchy in the 14th century. Currently, the duchy employs 150 people to look after its portfolio of roughly $1.3 billion in landholdings in southwest England. Indeed, King Charles was not able to dispose of duchy assets, as he could not do so with the crown estate, but he was able to profit from these assets. As a result of renting out space to businesses, farmers, and locals, the duchy generated over $50 million in income last year, $30 million of which went to the Prince of Wales and his heirs to fund their individual enterprises. When compared to King Charles's annual income from the sovereign grant, which was less than $2.5 million, the Duchy of Cornwall is a far more profitable investment. The Prince's Trust, King Charles's charity to aid jobless youth and young adults, received $4.4 million, while his personal staff of 132 was paid $7.3 million. Taxes took $6.75 million. Prince William, King Charles's oldest son and now first in line to the throne, did not used to receive money from the duchy. He and Princess Kate were able to boost brand sales without a royal warrant. Brand finance generated $165 million for the UK economy in 2017. Kate's halo effect boosts revenue for firms she wears or imitates. When images of Princess Charlotte as a baby were released in 2015, G.H. Hurt & Sons business jumped over 100%. William and Kate did not benefit from their authority prior to the Queen's passing. The Duchy of Cornwall gives William and his family a yearly stipend. King Charles receives $8 million in the fiscal year ending in March 2020, which he divided with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The princes, William and Harry, don't rely only on the duchy's income. The princes got shares of Princess Diana's estate on their 25th birthdays. Diana's $10 million bequest enabled Harry and his family to move to California. Though much of this information may change now that Prince William was recently made the Prince of Wales. Royal family members perform public and charitable activities while helping the monarchy in its state and national duties. They promote togetherness and stability. The Queen's offspring, grandchildren, and spouses hold governmental duties, as do her relatives, the children of King George VI's brothers. The royal family attends around 2,000 formal occasions annually in the UK and abroad. Some of these are state obligations. A royal family member will attend these occasions if the monarch can't attend an event or formal engagement. King Charles and Princess Diana were bestowed titles during investitures. Members of the royal family represent the monarch and the country overseas during state funerals, national festivities, and diplomatic and economic visits. The royal family's public and charitable activities also benefit public and non-profit sectors. Over 3,000 organizations have a royal patron or president. Royal family members may engage with people from all walks of life at the national and local levels through volunteering with organizations that assist them. British royal family members have launched the Prince's Trust, the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme, and the Princess Royal Trust for Carers. Prince Harry was promoted to captain and deployed twice to Afghanistan during his 10-year military career. He advocates for disabled service personnel as they transition to civilian life. Prince Harry completed his Regular Commissions Board, RCB, in September 2004. The RCB determines whether military candidates are ready for basic training. The board formulates tests and activities to examine the intellectual, physical, and emotional abilities of Army candidates. Prince Harry started officer cadet training at Sandhurst in May 2005 after job experience. During his 44-week training in Camberley, Surrey, Prince Harry was called Officer Cadet Wales. The course emphasises theory and exercise. After training, Prince Harry was commissioned into the British Army. Her Majesty received the salute during Sandhurst Sovereign's Parade. The Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall, now King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla, attended Prince Harry's passing out procession. Prince William was also present. Queen Elizabeth II was a regular at Royal Ascot since she first became a young princess in 1945. Many of her thoroughbreds have competed in the race, and more than 70 have come out on top. In 1953, the Queen's 106 long-shot horse, Choir Boy, won the Royal Hunt Cup, and in 2008, her 2-year-old colt, Free Agent, came from dead last to first in the Chesham Stakes, the first significant victory the Queen witnessed at the event in 10 years. In 1954, Her Majesty's horse Landau won the Rue Memorial Stakes, and in 1957, Her Majesty had 4 winners throughout Ascot Week, including her late father's horse, Oriole. Her most recent year of success in the tournament was 2021, when 33 of her horses triumphed, earning £536,685 in prize money and 147 starts. She also won a French classic, the Prix de Diane, in 1974. The Queen was admitted into the QIPCO British Champions Series Hall of Fame as a special contributor because of her devotion to horse racing. After his time in the military, Prince William continued his love of flying by becoming an air ambulance pilot. He joined the emergency services and served as a helicopter pilot or air ambulance for medivacs to save lives with medical professionals. The Prince recently expressed to the BBC his desire to feel like I have made a difference and a contribution at the end of the day. Still, he conceded that it wasn't always simple to see what he'd seen. He recalled a few really awful and gloomy times. You don't want to take it away, but sometimes it's hard not to. The Queen's immense possessions, including the seabed, date to the Norman conquest of 1066, when William the Conqueror claimed all of England for the kingdom. The Queen was the official title holder of all land until her death, although she had little control over the land. She enjoyed absolute authority on her own properties, such as Balmoral and Sandringham. The Queen controlled and collected money from the seabed and half the foreshore, the land between the high and low tide lines, as part of an eclectic group of sovereign assets that included all silver and gold resources and stretches of expensive central London real estate. The Crown Estate was responsible for the Queen's $18.1 billion or £14.4 billion investment portfolio under an agreement between Parliament and King George III that started in 1760. Years before he faced American revolutionaries, the monarch faced a financial crisis that forced him to sign up ownership of royal estates in return for a defined yearly fee from the profits of such holdings. Queen Elizabeth II held a lot of property due to her position as head of state in Britain. Her vast property holdings were worth $17 billion and included racetracks, luxury hotels, ancient castles, and even an offshore energy project worth £13 billion. She also owned a McDonald's restaurant in the Oxfordshire area. The land on which the McDonald's in the Banbury Gateway Shopping Park is built is Crown property. This is not McDonald's first appearance in the Queen's domain. She had a storefront at the Bath Road retail park in Slough, which she sold for £177 million the previous year. Business Insider reports that the McDonald's in the Banbury Gateway Shopping Park in Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, is technically located on property that belonged to the Queen. Historically known as Mines Royal, the Crown Estate owns almost all of the gold and silver deposits in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. As long as the proposed commercial exploration and exploitation of gold and silver resources complies with all applicable laws and is conducted in an environmentally responsible manner, we support such plans. Commercial development also needs a lease from the Mines Royal, in addition to access to land, much like commercial exploration does. Landowners, not government agencies, are ultimately responsible for approving requests for mineral exploration access. Suppose a commercially viable deposit of gold or silver is discovered and mining authorization is granted. In that case, the applicant may exercise their option to acquire a lease of Mines Royal, and it is our job to evaluate such applications. Assuming all other requirements for mining the deposit are satisfied, including law and finance, the exploration firm will feel more comfortable moving forward with mining operations thanks to this option. Let's look at the royal family's multi-billion-dollar real estate portfolio, highlighting the monarch's many mansions, manors, cottages, farmhouses, urban flats, and castles. The structure most recognizable to Americans is at the top of the list of eye delights. The Queen's official London home was Buckingham Palace, which has been in the family since 1761, when King George II paid a little under $28,000 for it. This was 12 years before a specific tea party. That's more than a little over $6 million in today's money. A conservative estimate puts its current value at $1.3 billion. Thus, his decision turned out to be rather astute. Royal residences include Windsor Castle in Berkshire, England, where Princess Diana was born, the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh, Scotland, which is practically a studio apartment at just over 87,000 square feet and 289 rooms, Balmoral Castle and Estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, where the royal family liked to retreat in the late summer and early fall, and Sandringham Estate, where the princess's parents retreated during World War II bombing raids on London. There are three businesses through which the royal family makes an income. The first source is royal-themed products such as memorabilia, royal-themed food, copycat royal clothes, and television episodes like The Crown and The Crown: Secrets of the Crown, which have generated an estimated tens of millions of pounds in revenue. The second source is tourism. The booking of Eurostar trains to the UK increased by 28% in the run-up to the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. The subsequent spending by tourists helps the country's economy. The third source is trade, by which the royal brand supports UK goods directly via royal warrants trademarks issued by the royal family, and indirectly through a brand of Britishness, for which the royal family occasionally works as ambassadors by appearing at industry events abroad. This was all from my side to guide you about how the royal family makes its money and what income sources support the royal family financially. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon if you're new to the channel so you don't miss any new content.